Hello,
Hey,
hello. Hi.
hey, you
I'm
disappeared. And
sorry.
then I thought, oh no, she doesn't know how to get back on.
Uh, I had to switch computers. My other computer froze. I was downloading, when you download videos or upload them from your
Yeah.
device for yeah. So
Oh
it
no.
crashed. So am I okay
Oh
now?
dear. You're good. Yeah. We didn't get to do our sound check, but sounds good. Everyone can hear me
Okay.
and you. So sometimes I don't wear headphones with lives because I don't know. I just generally don't. So it's always like a gamble whether or not the other person's headphones are going to give like feedback and stuff. So
Yes,
how
hopefully
are
they're
you?
okay. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah. I was just saying to everyone today was a crazy day for me. It's the end of the day. Mondays are always crazy. But yeah, I'm sure you feel the same way. And especially now, you're having a baby soon
Yes, 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you for agreeing to come on and chat. It's really good to have you amongst what must be a crazy month. So how are things
Yeah.
going?
Things are going good. Let me know. Is my audio okay? I hope my connection's
Yeah, you're
okay
good. You're
for
good,
everyone.
Nancy. Yep.
Okay. Okay,
Yep.
good. I
You're
have
good.
my headphones on just because my kids are sleeping, so I thought maybe it'll be
Okay.
quieter.
Yeah.
So be quiet, tip. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, things are
Well, my
going
music
well.
in the beginning would have woken them up, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, it was perfect. I love the intro. It's crazy because usually with nesting with kids, you're like getting the crib and getting my nesting is work related. I'm like, let me automate all this and
Yeah.
delegate, and so I can have a maternity leave. So I'll be off for 2 months. So I'm excited.
So that's what you're doing. You're going to take 2 months off.
Yeah, yeah,
Isn't that awesome that we
yeah.
get to do that and have that flexibility? That's really, really cool. Awesome. So I
Yes,
didn't really
yeah.
introduce you, but people know who you are that are here. So do you want to just give where do you live and maybe a little quick snapshot of what you've been up to lately? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm in Utah, and currently I've been doing a lot of work with my teacher students. And I have a course that teaches teachers how to build a brand on YouTube, and then I also have a membership for those students that supports them on going to the next level, or how to create passive income or other streams of income outside of their teaching time. So that's where I spend most of my time, is inside my membership and also with my students that are inside my course. So
Right.
I maybe have like I still the littles. I'm like, I will always have a place in my heart. I always want to be teaching them. They're so
Yeah.
adorable. They just fill your soul with love.
Yeah,
So it's
for
always nice
sure.
to leave a couple slots for them.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
that's so cool. Thanks for sharing. I was telling you maybe earlier that like I really love online teaching, and but I lately have been kind of missing some of the in-person teaching. So I took on a couple of students to teach in person for a little over a month, and it was really refreshing just to kind of have that contact with real students. So yeah, I think it's great that we can be flexible in our schedule, diversify our income, and kind of pick and choose areas that we want to focus on. So yeah, so I was telling the
Yeah.
folks that we were going to chat about building a teacher brand on YouTube, and I'm sure that most people have followed you, Nancy, for a while on your YouTube journey. And so is it okay if we get into some questions about YouTube and helping folks get started that want to, or just might have an idea of where they want to go with their YouTube journey? How does that sound?
Yeah, for sure. And your camera's awesome. Do you have an external webcam, or do you connect to
Yeah,
your
I
YouTube?
use for the lives. I use the Logitech C922.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember we talked about that. That's what I was hooked up to. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and so we're on my backup. It's kind of like when you're teaching and you're like, I gotta get my iPad. So
Yeah,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
well.
definitely. Awesome. So I know you've started a new channel for yoga, fitness, right? Fitness for
Yeah.
pregnant moms. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So why don't you
Prenatal fitness.
can you back up a little bit and just talk about how you got started on YouTube and why the new channel?
Yeah. So I started, I guess almost 5 years ago. I started 7 months after I started teaching online. And so
Mhm.
YouTube came. I always wanted to have a YouTube channel, but in my mind, it was, oh, you vlog your day or you record
Right.
just random things and post them online. I thought it was more of a journal than anything. But when I started teaching, I was like, this is awesome. I started sharing tips like, oh, you can set up your classroom, you can do this, and just things that I was learning as I went.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those videos seemed to be really helpful. So I kind of doubled down on that. And that's what I teach my teacher students is you can cast this wide net on your YouTube channel. You don't have to have it all figured out because I think we put
Yeah.
a pressure on ourselves like we have to niche down, we have to know exactly what we're an expert in, but you kind of have to
Hmm.
discover that. And that's part of the fun is it's not the
Hmm.
end result, it's that journey where you get to figure things out that makes it so
Yeah.
exhilarating and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love
So
it. And
that's
so
where I'm
that's how
at.
your yoga channel came about?
Yeah, so it started there. And then so I used to upload 3 videos a week. It used to be a workout, it used to be like a family vlog, and then it used to be a
Yeah.
teaching video. And knowing what I know
Mhm.
now, I know that you don't post a bunch of random content, but I learned it as I was going. And I learned when I first started, I would write like ESL teaching tips, and then I would put in parentheses VIP kid because I realized that when I put that company name, it would perform better. And I didn't know at the time about keywords. I didn't know why it would
Right.
perform better. and, then,
Right.
and then I learned about keywords and I learned about creating searchable content and all of the things. And I was like, this is amazing. And I loved it. And
Yeah.
so now I get to teach that.
Yeah. So cool. Was there like a turning point in your YouTube channel where you saw it sort of really take off? Because I think the hardest part about getting on YouTube and being consistent, for me anyway, was the early days when you don't see any views and when things are not growing and you're like, oh
Yeah.
man, is this like really worth it? Like this is, I don't know if I have the stamina to keep this up for the long term. You know what I mean? So how did that come
Yeah.
about for you when things started to grow? I know you were an early creator in the online teaching space, so that probably helped. But yeah, tell us about was
Yeah.
that a turning point for you?
I see this all the time with people are excited about a topic or they're excited to start a channel, and I'll see their channels will have 8 videos and then nothing for years and years.
Right.
And I think that it's an understanding and an expectation of it's a long game. Uh-oh, you turn my phone.
Who's that?
It is a teacher. It's a long
Okay.
game. So we have to make sure that you have that. It's not like a quick win. I'm not going to make these 3 videos and they're going to go viral and I'm going to have my own students. I
Mm-hmm.
have to think about it as I think about it as a year. Okay, let's monetize my YouTube channel in a year, and then let's maybe
Mm-hmm.
offer a coaching program or a course in the second year. And that way,
Mm-hmm.
when you play the long game, it's sustainable income. It's like something that you can continue doing. It's not a quick win, quick burst that'll fizzle out. So a lot of teachers or just anyone creating a YouTube channel, just make sure that you have that expectation of it takes time to build. I say about 30
Yeah.
to 35 videos to really build a library to have it start ranking,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
will give up before they see the success and they're like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like right
Right.
there. and
Yeah.
and sometimes the success starts just little. That's a hard word for me
Yeah.
to say. I'm very stuffy.
Yeah.
It's just pregnancy.
Are you sick? Just pregnancy stuff.
No, well, so my husband was stuffy and we thought it was allergies, but now I am. So yeah, I
Oh
probably am
no.
sick.
Oh, oh
I don't
no.
feel
On
sick
top of
though, so
everything.
it's fine.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think that's really great advice. And as somebody was just saying here in the chat, Gretchen says, yeah, just like in teaching, you need to be consistent. And it's definitely hard in the beginning because you maybe have this sort of unrealistic thought that it is going to just take off, and if it doesn't, then what am I doing wrong? But it takes a long time, and you have to kind of. I like your idea of 35 or so videos to sort of help things to build momentum, because YouTube wants to know that you are an authority or a reputable channel that people are going to want to watch before they start pushing you out to other people. And you know how YouTube works. Sometimes there are those anomaly videos, those random videos that do go viral.
Yeah.
for whatever reason, right? And then we all wish that we had those, but for whatever reason. And yeah, those are definitely the rarity, I think, for sure. So
Yeah.
have you faced any challenges in your YouTube journey? Like, what have there been any sort of like times when you didn't create content, or, you know, talk to us about maybe any of the challenges that you might have faced, or difficulties, because it's not always easy, right? It takes time and effort and energy, and some days we don't feel like videoing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think when you get started, it's remembering that l- you might be talking to your mom and your family. You might have 5 views on there, but the really
Mhm.
cool thing about YouTube, and that kind of sets it apart from Instagram or social media, is that it is evergreen content. I mean, someone can go on Google and they can search phonics for a 5-year-old, and I can have a video that was 3 years old, and when I originally uploaded it, maybe my audience was really small, maybe only 5 people watched it, but now YouTube's recommending that, and so that one can be helping people down the road. So I always think of those pieces of content as
Mhm.
evergreen, as something I would love for this. So I don't treat YouTube like an update, or I'm not updating everyone on this week's what's happening. It's more evergreen content, things that they can use years to come. And that doesn't mean that some videos don't say, hey, this this month, just so you know, this is going on. I still
Yeah.
do that, but I feel like with YouTube, it's really nice because at first, even if you are talking to 5 people, 6 people, just think of in the long run, maybe a year or 2 years down the road, that video is going to be the main resource, the number one recommended video for that topic. But you do
Yeah.
have to build that. You have to build that library and that authority, and have multiple videos with that
Mm.
keyword.
Yeah, really good advice. And if you're here watching live, the chat box on the right will have some comment streaming. Please say hello and ask a question if you've got any questions about YouTube for Nancy or I, and we'd love to answer them live. And if you're watching the replay, you can ask your questions in the comments below, and I'd love to answer them. So there are a few more people popped on. Hello, Chris. Good to have you, Chris Americos. I have known of Chris for a long time. Chris, you used to appear in my YouTube ads targeting online teachers who want to build a business. So thanks for being here. And I don't know if anyone else, have you ever seen Chris's YouTube ad videos? No.
No.
I don't
I
even
need
know
to
how to do YouTube ads, but anyway, his for a while were popping up
He
on
needs to
mine.
teach us. You need to have him on.
Yeah. Gretchen asks, how do you avoid copying other people's work?
Oh, that's a good question. So, Gretchen, originally I thought that, when you watch someone's YouTube video, you sometimes take too much inspiration and you kind of repeat things they say, not on purpose, but it's just in your mind. So, what I do to protect that is I might look at their title, I might look at their description box, but I actually don't watch a lot of videos that are within my niche, or else I start to
Mhm.
copy them or copy their
Mhm.
tips. A lot of my content I either base off of, like, I'll take courses and then I will put into practice what the course taught, and I will then share what worked for me. So it's
Mhm.
all come from my system, so the experience and then my tips. So it's not just me watching a video and then let me just repeat these tips. So I really don't watch a lot of videos within my niche. I'll see their topics and I see what's performing well, and then I'll do my own homework and research from various things to make it your own, because you don't create it from scratch. I mean, you learn from a coach, you learn from someone else, but then when you
Yeah.
put it into practice, you get to really discover what works, and then
Yeah.
that's what you can teach. And maybe you're
Yeah.
the same way, Tim. I don't know. What's your strategy on that?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about how I definitely go on YouTube to look at the content that's out there, to look at content that's doing well. And then rather than watching the videos and like taking those tips or taking those, whatever it is that I'm creating my video about, it's good to know what is out there already that's maybe doing well or not doing well, and what keywords did they use. But yeah, you never want to copy someone's title. You don't want to copy any of that type of stuff. That's not an area you ever want to get into. And if you're talking about music and stuff, it's important that you find music or images that are copyright free. So I actually have 3 YouTube strikes without me realizing it, from using Epidemic Sound music from Canva. and not realizing that I could only use it once. So it wasn't really a YouTube strike, but they kind of tell you that your video is being monetized through to Epidemic Sound and not to use, more like a smack on the wrist. But you do have to be careful about that type of stuff.
That's a really good
you learn
point.
as you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the music, maybe you use the same one. So I just get a creator subscription at Artlist, and then I also have Epidemic Sound. And at first, I used to use like the YouTube library, or I would have an iMovie library. So they were non-copyright, but the quality of music was kind of magoo.
That's right. Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. Like,
and it's not the worst. I mean, I still sometimes find YouTube audio library music. I actually use I have Motion Array, which has lots and lots and lots of images, intros, and things like that. I haven't used all of it yet, and to be honest, it's kind of complicated, but I've used some of that. So David asks, what was the point when you really told yourself that YouTube was the right platform? Are there other video sharing platforms out there that could be suitable for those striving to be online teachers? Well, I would say, David, that YouTube doesn't work for everybody, and it isn't a platform for everybody. It's just a platform. But what I love about YouTube is that the content is searchable. It's like Google. People go on YouTube to search for things, just like they go on to Google to search for things. So it's a good platform for that. And if you're comfortable being on camera, or at least willing to want to work at getting comfortable on camera, it can be a really great platform. But for your question about when I really told myself that YouTube was the right platform, I don't know. I never created consistent videos, but when I saw certain videos doing well and like people were reaching out to me for support, then I was thinking like, wow, like where did they find me? I actually, when people used to email me, I never thought that they found me through YouTube. I wasn't really understanding the analytics behind it. I was like, where are they finding me? Like I've just got 9 or 10 videos on YouTube. It can't be from there, but that's where it was from. And so it just builds from there. So yeah, I guess it's with videos maybe doing well. What about you, Nancy?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because I'll talk to others that started a YouTube channel and I'll say, where did your referrals come from? Or where did you find your students? And they'll say, they found me on YouTube. Like there's so much magic there because like you said, it's searchable. I always say like there's different ways to go about building your brand. You could do it on social media. A lot of people are successful with Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and they aren't searchable off of that platform, but people find success there by building a community. I love the platforms like if you do a podcast, that's searchable because you have the transcription on your website, or a blog, that's searchable. Video is so beautiful because people know you. They like, know, and trust you before they jump into any offer you have. And I always say, give a ton of value before you take anything or ask anything. Like you are just giving tons. And then they're just so excited. They're like your number one fans. They're like, I've seen you on video. I know you. I know you're like so much about you. They're ready to jump in.
Yeah. And just piggybacking on that, I totally agree with you with the know, like, and trust. Your face is there. Your personality is there. You know, you're visual to the person that's watching you. Whereas on a blog, and blogs also take way longer to rank on Google. I mean, you have to think about, most people don't look past the first or second page of Google, but they scroll through YouTube until they find something that they like, right? So it's a totally different type of engagement and interface than Google. So, and you'll rank way faster on YouTube than you will on Google. So, but yeah, it builds the know, like, and trust. True. Lots of people saying hi.
And one thing to say on that. Oh,
I think we have
I was going to, do I have a lag? Am I here?
It's okay. It's okay. We'll keep going. No worries.
I was going to say one thing to add on to that is I would think about how you consume content. If you like to watch YouTube videos to learn how to do things, then you'll probably like to create them. So for me, I like to watch a YouTube video to learn how to do something versus read a blog or I love podcasts. I could do that too because I love them. So I would think of how do you consume content? What do you enjoy doing? Because usually it transfers over to that might be how you like to create content as well.
Yeah. Really, really good advice. Let's jump into YouTube and how it can be a funnel to your business. Because I'll be honest, I never thought that YouTube could grow my business. I thought that YouTube might be a place for referrals. It would be a place to, grow an audience maybe, but I didn't really know how to do that when I was getting started. But now I'm really intentional with taking my audience through a journey of finding my other content, maybe popping over to grab something on my website or a course or something like that. So there's so many ways that you can create that funnel. Can you talk a little bit about the YouTube funnel and how you implement that on your channel, Nancy? I love the word
TPR.
like, it's a funnel. Yeah, it is a funnel. I mean, it's kind of a process. It's a journey that we take people on.
Yeah, no, I call it a funnel, and I've had that question before of what is this funnel? So it's really simple. It's you create free valuable content on YouTube, and then it's a free organic way to grow an email list. And a lot of people, when they're getting started with the brand, myself included, I didn't start an email list for 3 years, because I didn't understand the importance of it. And I would listen to business mentors over and over say, I wish I started that earlier. I wish I started earlier. So I thought, I'm going to start this email list. And what an email list is I give a free item, or maybe I have a free training or whatever it may be that I offer. They input their email, and then they have to click they subscribe to get emails from you. So it's a way to further nurture that relationship. And also, you're right in their inbox when you have an offer, when you have anything that you're promoting, maybe an affiliate program, you're right in their inbox. Whereas if they're a YouTube subscriber, I'm not necessarily top of mind unless they go on YouTube, unless they go on the platform, and then I'm shown if they click the bell and get notified. So
That's
I
right.
want to make sure that and that's your backbone to your business too, because who knows how long YouTube will be here? Who knows how long any social media will be here? But to have their email, it's like having their phone number. Hey, just to let you know, it's 20% off
Totally.
today.
And it's something that you
So,
own in a sense. You don't own your followers on any platform. I mean, I've heard about channels getting shut down, people losing followers for unknown reasons or all kinds of different crazy things. You can't completely rely on your social media platforms to run your business. Good tips with the email list for sure. I wish I got into that earlier as well. But now my email list primarily, and I would say solely, grows from my YouTube channel. And that's where the traffic comes from. I would say about 90%. I might rank on Google for like a few blog posts. I work really hard at trying to, but it's so hard. But I don't really think that they're coming from there. They might be, but YouTube is a great one, and Pinterest is as well. I wish I was better at it, but Pinterest is another search engine that can drive traffic to your email list or to your website or wherever you want to send folks to. So good. Tess is here. Hey, Tess, good to see you. Sorry, I haven't been saying hi to folks that were popping in. Hey, Lisa. And Rachel from Merciful Mornings is here. Thanks for popping in. I know she had an out school class, I think, before this. Hey, Sarah, thank you so much. And Skyla is here. Hey, Skyla. Awesome. So let's see if I can. I put the comment on and then I forget how to take it off. There we go.
that's so cool. I love it.
Can you give maybe some tips? I try to keep these to about a half an hour, so I want to just add some value and just thank you so much for coming on. And maybe you could leave us with some tips on wanting to get started with a YouTube channel. What do you wish you could tell your former self when you were getting started?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me, by the way. This is so much fun to be on this end. I know about StreamYard. I know you use StreamYard to do this, and I'm like, this is so cool to see the back end. So yes, and thanks for everyone listening. It's so fun.
Yeah.
The tips I have is, number one, it might sound cliche, but is to start and to show up consistently. Like, so if I'm going to start a brand on YouTube, the first thing is I would just work on it each day, even if it's 5 minutes, if it's 1 minute, because you're building this habit to show up even when there's nobody there, even when I'm talking to my mom and my husband. Like, hey, it's okay. Just make sure that you continue to show up. And then the second thing is to build that library of videos. So by consistently showing up, I want to have that 30 to 35 videos, and I want to build a library. So it builds authority. I see people, they'll make a video and right from the get-go, they say subscribe. But why should they subscribe to your video? Like I would rather have someone watch my video and say, that was so valuable, I need to subscribe so that I am updated when they have another video on that. So I'm not
Yeah.
asking right out of the gate. I'm giving tons of value. So always giving first. And then you can ask second. Say, if you are interested in this type of content, click the subscribe. It helps me out. Like that's an authentic way to come across, giving a lot. And then also they're happy to return the favor to you, because it doesn't cost
Yeah,
a thing to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing to
for
listen and
sure.
watch. And then the third
Yeah.
thing, I wrote these down too. The third thing
Oh,
was
you're so prepared.
creating that searchable content. So like I said, when I first started, I would put the company's name in parentheses. So now I understand that people are typing in things like how to teach my child phonics, or a lot of parents are home right now teaching their kids. So how could you help solve a problem? And you cast this wide net. So let's say that you wanted to do the niche of online teachers. You cast this wide net for online teachers. You have maybe something about engagement, something about phonics, something. And then once you figure out that one thing, you like it performs well and you love it, niche down to that. You want to be known not only as an online teacher, but what are you known for? And once you choose that, things will start rolling. And hopefully the audio came over on this.
Yeah, I'm
Did it
catching you.
okay?
It's a
I
little
hope
broken
so.
up, but I'm catching you. Janae says, I just got one of your beautiful pastel posters for my online classroom. Thanks, guys.
Huh?
So that's the one you've got behind you.
Yay.
And this is also a Hey Sunshine Shop piece. I bought your digital one because I couldn't get the regular one shipped. So I bought the digital one. And this is what it looks like. It's really nice, like printed large. It's awesome. Good quality. That is
Awesome. I love it.
HeySunshineShop.com. If anyone's looking for a map, that's Nancy's shop.
Oh, thank
so
you.
head on over there. Nancy, do you have, what's coming up for you? Actually, someone asked earlier, where does Nancy see herself in 5 years? I can't find that question.
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I teach my teacher students this all the time, and it's to focus in on one thing. And so this year's one thing, and let me know if the audio cuts out, because I know my internet must be spotty, and I'm sorry. So
no, you're fine.
Okay, good. For my one thing this year, and I often see this even in myself, is we'll say, oh, I want to try that, or I could be really good at this. And so we might have a digital product and a shop and a course and a membership. Like we have all these things that we have our hands in, but what if we just picked one of them and dove all in? And that's kind of what I've done with YouTube. Is I picked that as my main platform to grow my brand, dove all in, and then it really exploded. So this year I plan on focusing in on my digital course, my students, my current students, and I really want to not only learn how to optimize that. I've invested in training and mentors and coaches to help me to build a system that I wouldn't have known how to do on my own, so I can get there a little bit quicker and help my students. I always feel like when I invest in myself, I'm investing in my students, because I'm able to offer more value to them. So I really am focusing on my digital course this year.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been doing similar things in terms of focusing. I look at it like with quarterly segments and focusing on, a couple of things that I want to really get done. And I'm almost finished with one of them for this one, even though it's coming up to the end of March. But when you really focus in, your little squirrel brain tends to tame itself and get a little bit more focused, because it's so easy to do all the things that you're comfortable with doing that are easy and that you don't have to put a lot of brain power into, and that are just kind of keeping your business trucking along. But then you realize, I had one of those days today where I spent all day doing stuff and felt like I got nothing done. And if you're really focused and intentional about what you're doing, then you'll make faster progress, I believe, than when you're trying to do everything. So yeah, that's really cool.
And one more thing on that too, Tim, is when you choose that one thing, so let's say that you choose to be an expert for freelance teachers or those tutoring on their own, all of a sudden people start recommending you. So like I can have one or two students that come to mind when someone asks me a question. I say, oh, go to this person, because they're known for that. But if they had more of a broad or general topic, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. So you really do it. It's not a rush to niche down, but it really helps to be an expert in one thing.
Yeah. And I've put so much of my effort and energy into online companies on YouTube. A whole other topic could be pivoting your content on YouTube. But if I started a gardening channel, that would kind of throw YouTube into a you know, like, who is this guy? What is he an authority on? He's all over the place. So, but I think of teacher Riley with Zebra English. She's pivoted into content around bullet journaling and has just like taken off. So it can be done. You know, it's amazing to watch things like that happen. So Michelle says,
Yes.
I'm 2 years in with my teacher business and no email list. Michelle, get an email list. You need to do that today. I have work to do. Thanks for the encouragement and the help, guys. And it can be so simple, Michelle. You know, she's a creator on Etsy and or Teachers Pay Teachers, I think. Teachers Pay Teachers. And you know, there's 1,000 things you could provide free content on to grow your email list. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I think people think they need an entire website.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Online gardener too. People think they need an entire website to start their list, but you just need one landing page. You can do a single landing page on ConvertKit, MailChimp.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, so true. So is it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy.
Your baby. It's a boy.
Yep.
Another little brother. Cool.
Do you want to name him? We don't have a name.
No name yet? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for coming on. I don't see any more questions, so we will close it out here. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're super busy and you're only a couple weeks away from a C-section, right? That you're, yeah, crazy.
Don't watch that on YouTube.
That's right. Well, you're always a blast to chat to, and glad we had this time to connect. So thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
What are you doing today?
Oh, I am batch recording content so I can have 2 months off.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll let you get to it. Thanks so much, Nancy.
You got it.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
That was awesome. Thank you, Nancy, for coming on. And thanks, everybody, for hanging out in the chat and lots of great comments and questions. Really appreciate you being here. I will be here next Monday, same time, so 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I need to remember when daylight savings changes because, yeah, that totally messes me up because I don't change over here. So thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one.